So let's figure that out. All right. We're ready?
We're rolling. So I'm just walking around.
Okay, we are rolling. We're getting ready for the ultimate game. Team World, the world team from all over the world who's come to Rättvik, Sweden to play against Team Sweden, who are in the home dugout. We got the world team in the visitors dugout. Evan Opperman is team captain for the world team. He's holding this together. What do you have for a team, and what do you think are your chances?
I really like our chances. We lost last year, unfortunately, in a tight game against Sweden, but today we got really strong pitching, so I like that. And we got guys from all over the world. We have Italians, Japanese, Americans, Canadians, Venezuelans, so we got a lot of diversity on this club and a lot of talent, so I really like how we look.
Yeah, Evan, let me ask you, how do you balance the fun of a tournament like this where you're really wanting to meet guys, but at the same time play real baseball? How do you work that out?
The most fun thing is winning.
Winning, so
Yeah.
that's kind of the little secret sauce,
Yeah.
huh?
You win
Okay.
it. You have fun when you win.
And you want to beat this team?
I
it
want to
sounds
beat
like.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to kick their booty.
Yeah, we're going to interview our umpires as we wait for the teams to line up. Who on earth are we going to put behind the plate?
Hi, it's me,
Who is me? You're on live TV.
Roger Eriksson.
Roger Eriksson. He was out in the field before. Now it's his turn to be behind the plate. Okay, and who else do we have?
Alexander Silvian, first base,
From where?
Stockholm.
And what besides we asked you to come, what keeps you in umpiring? What do you like about umpiring?
Yeah, we're gonna line up.
Stay in the game.
Stay in the game. You love the game of
Yeah, yeah,
baseball. You like the interaction with the
Yeah.
players, and you gotta stay awake.
Yeah,
But we put you in the stands, you'd fall asleep, right?
yeah.
You probably
Probably.
would, but you
Probably.
stay awake because it's a game. And we have the luxury here at the All-Star Head of having 3 umpires, which is rare in Sweden. Only in playoffs do we have 3 umpires, and this is a great opportunity for them to work together as a team of 3. Who do we have here?
Thomas Jansson.
Thomas Jansson. I think I saw him behind the plate in the first game.
Yes, that is correct.
And where are you going to be today?
At third base.
Thomas, where are you from?
Gävle originally.
Isn't that where they burn goats?
Yes,
Yeah, every Christmas they're trying to burn the goat, and I think it happened this year. Is that right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. What was your feeling about that? Did you want this thing to be burned, or
Yes. I don't always. It wouldn't be a tradition, and the
wouldn't
town
be a
wouldn't be famous.
if the town wouldn't be famous? I'll tell you something else that makes it famous is Javalia Cafe.
Yeah.
I used to pay a lot of money in America to get this coffee. It was the royal coffee of Sweden. But now it's kind of gone mainstream. It's in a yellow bag, I guess the Swedish gold. And oh man, it goes on sale at Publix. I think of you every time, man. Gävle, Javalia, the Latin word for Gävle. We're glad to have you guys. Glad to have the umpires. And now the teams are lining up. We will head, let's go first to the home team. We'll go over to Team Sweden. So the first introduction will be for Team Sweden. And so our coach, captain, face of baseball in Sweden, with big concern about the development of players is none other than Bjorn Johannesson. Bjorn, you live in
Täby, just outside of Stockholm.
and I wanted a little story here. I'd love to tell a good story. I remember Bjorn when he was a player, a young catcher playing with the men's team as the youngest catcher I'd ever seen. I begged him to come to America, come play with us. It took a while. You have played in the U.S., have you not?
Yeah, I played college baseball in Santa Barbara for 2 years.
2 years in Santa Barbara, California. You've been the junior national team coach.
Yes,
What do you do today with baseball?
I run a youth club in Tabby. Just started this year with another American from Philadelphia. So we got about 10 kids going, but we're looking to have a U10, U12, and a U15 program.
Who's our Yankee from Philadelphia? What's his name?
His name is Salvatore Viola.
And he's living in.
He's living in Tabby. He's got a young kid, so Vincent. So he's 8 years old. So he's going to be around for another 7 years. So
Look for Tabby baseball to take off. He had a young buck in the back seat of the car. I think he's the future of baseball.
yeah, he's up here watching the best guys in Sweden.
That's
so.
right. That's what my sons did, and they're here playing today. Who do we have here? We have from. We won't say Texas, but where are you from, Max?
Well, I'm from Stockholm, Sweden.
Max Hill.
Yes, sir.
And you're playing in America, college baseball. Where are you playing?
Correct. In Lexington, Kentucky, at Midway University.
And you finished 2 seasons?
Yes, with Midway.
Yeah, and you have some eligibility. You have some eligibility. Did you gain a year with COVID?
Correct.
All right. Well, how many years of eligibility?
1. So this is the 5th year in college.
And he's got, there we go, man. 1 more year. Look out for Max Hill with college baseball making a good representation of Sweden. This guy makes me feel very short. Who do we have here? This is
Joel Johnson.
Joel. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Tranås, Sweden.
Did you play baseball in Toronto, Sweden?
I did for Tranås Baseball and Storyd Angels.
Yes, Storyd Angels. That's right. You're going to play what position today?
I'll be at first base and probably some outfield as well.
Max, have you gotten your place in the lineup?
3rd base.
Third base, infield and outfield. Another player coach for Team Sweden is,
Daniel Jonsson.
yeah, and you grew up?
Ja, jag förstår inte det där språket.
Ja, du växte upp
Jag växte upp i Tranås.
i Tranås.
Ja.
Och sen har du spelat i USA. Var har du spelat?
Ja, jag har spelat i Alabama och Georgia.
Okej, Georgia. Det var Alabama på high school.
Ja, precis. Och så spelade jag college baseball i Georgia på Covenant College.
Covenant College. Okay, glad to have you. Next is our Hälsinglands representant här.
Ja.
Vem har vi här?
Oskar Järvsten.
Ja. Familjen ursprungligen från Ljusdal, men du
Yes.
växte upp
I Sundsvall.
Aha. Har du spelat baseball i Sundsvall?
Jag spelar i Sundsvall, har jag gjort. Och sen har jag spelat i Tyskland, Mannheim, och sen en sväng i Fairfield i USA. Och nu är jag i Rättvik.
Tillbaka i Rättvik. Vi får tacka Oskar för allt han har gjort för baseballplanen som en jordbrukare. Det är hans åker här, eller hur? Vem har vi här? En hemmapojkar.
Ja, det är Albin Käck.
Och du är från
Jag är från Rättvik.
Rättvik. Hela livet i Rättvik.
Jajamän.
Förutom du spenderade din tid i Leksand. Vad gjorde du där i Leksand?
I Leksand.
Ja, har inte du spelat akademin?
Jo.
Ja,
det är
de
klart.
åren.
Ja, jo.
Ja,
Men ja, jag är fortfarande Rättvik är ju alltid hemma. Så.
Rättvik, men en spelare i akademin. Tony Klarberg has run the academy. How many guys here have been to the Swedish Academy? Raise your hand if you take a look there. The Swedish Academy has done a lot for baseball. It's actually done a lot for Dalarna because the guys love it here and they tend to hang around. Vem har vi här?
Hej, Olle Martinsson.
Från
Sundsvall.
Sundsvall, Mosquitoes. Ja, hur känns det att vara i Rättvik?
Ja, det känns jättebra. Det är alltid kul att komma hit.
Vilken position kommer du spela
Jag
i?
kommer starta på left field idag.
Left field. Left field. Och du då?
Right field.
Right field för Albin Käck. Oscar ska catcha ikväll, va? Okej, tillbaka till hemmapojken. Home Run Derby finalist. Vad heter du?
Kalle Höglund.
Kalle Högland. Från Rättvik.
Ja.
Vad är din favoritmaträtt?
Man kan inte gå fel med pizza.
Inte fel med pizza. Du skulle ha sagt mammas mat. Hemlagad mat.
Pizzan är bättre.
Ja, pizza är bättre. Och du då?
Som börjar så.
Jag har sett den här killen. Han har pitchat till SM-final flera gånger. Jag minns första året han var giltig att spela elitserien pitchade han i SM-final, eller hur?
Ja, det stämmer.
Nere i Sölvesborg.
Sölvesborg.
Vad gör du när det inte är baseballsäsongen?
Då spelar jag bandy istället.
Spelar bandy?
Ja.
Vilken position bandy?
Målvakt.
Ja. Har du kommit långt i bandy?
Ja, ganska. Nu är jag med i A-laget.
I A-laget? Lite junior landslag, eller?
Ja, just det. Ja, det har jag också varit med.
Ja, förresten. Junior landslag i bandy. Ja, jag tror det var MVP där också.
Ja.
Och du då? Du är alldeles för lång. Jag ser inte upp över molnen. Och du heter?
Jonas Sjölund,
Jonas Sjölund som kommer från...
Sundsvall.
Har du växt upp i Sundsvall hela
Ja.
ditt liv? Spelat många Mosquitoes Cup, eller hur?
Ja, jo,
Ja.
jo.
Jag tror du var domare sist jag var där.
uttal, ja.
Och den här killen, var kommer du ifrån?
Kuba.
Kuba?
Ja.
Men du bor nu för tiden
Sundsvall.
i Sundsvall.
Ja.
Året om?
Ja.
Och vad heter du?
Brian Estati.
Aha. Vilken position kommer du spela ikväll?
Idag spelar DH.
DH. He's our DH tonight. Och sen from the Monarchs, Stockholm.
Lukas Lind.
Ja, Lukas Lind. Är du ursprungligen stockholmare?
Ja,
Aha. Vilken stadsdel? På Söder?
ja söder
Ja.
om Söder.
Ja. Ja. Bästa delen, Skarpnäck. Och du då?
Tjena,
Oh my
grabbar.
goodness gracious. Och sträcka uppåt. Vem har vi här?
Jakob Sirén, Leksand Lumberjacks.
Ja. Och du kommer ifrån?
Jag kommer från Leksand.
Från Leksand?
Jajamän.
Hela livet?
Hela livet.
Men har spelat i Rättvik,
Jag har
eller
spelat
hur?
Rättvik
Ja.
i 4 år.
Ja.
Sen var jag i Holland i 2 år och var i Tyskland 1 år och college 2 år också. Så jag
Oh my
har
goodness.
hunnit med en hel del.
Så baseball har varit en resande sport för dig, eller
Jajamän,
hur?
Det har det varit
Och
hela
det,
livet.
vem vet vad kommer hända i
Vi
framtiden?
får se vad som händer.
Vi får se vad som
Nu är vi
händer.
här i alla fall.
Men han är inte ute i båten, är han på baseballplan, eller hur?
Baseballplan.
Yes sir. Vem har vi här?
Oskar Syrén, Leksand Lumberjacks.
Ja. Känner du den bredvid dig?
Ja, det är lillebror.
Lillebror.
Nej, jag skojar. Storebror.
Okej. Så du växte upp samma plats?
Ja.
Var du också på akademin?
Yes, det gjorde jag. Och sen
Ja.
gjorde jag 2 år i USA också på College of the Canyons.
College of the Canyons i Newhall eller norr om
Santa
LA?
Clarita.
Santa Clarita. Okej. Men här har vi laget, svenska laget. Jag tror säkert ni är helt stelna. Vi har varit här så länge. Ni får gärna värma upp. Nu går vi över till imports. Är den på? Okej. Hej. Ja. Nu får vi ta in publiken också. Men ni kommer inte veta vem Team Sweden är, för vi har redan presenterat dem. Så vi går över till imports. You take it.
I got it.
Introduce your
Here's to
team,
everybody.
man. Take it.
Okay, hey everybody, we're the world team. My name's Evan. I'm from the U.S. I play here in Rättvik. We got David here from Canada, right? Anthony from Venezuela, right? Hunter from the U.S. We got John from the U.S. We got Jacopo from Italy, Tyler from the U.S., Dylan from South Africa, Ryan from the U.S., Joe from Italy and the U.S. We got Alex from the U.S., Levi, home run derby champion from Canada, Takeru from Japan, and then we have Will from the U.S. and Mike from Canada. That's the world team. Let's play ball.
Effective. I took too long.
Förlåt, Gary.
Way to make it happen. They want to play ball. They don't want to stand here. They want to get ready and play ball. So let's get ready for some of the best baseball. I'll be in the bullpen for the world team, from Jackson, Mississippi, to the bullpen with the world team. When they need me, they'll call on me. Nu överlämnar jag micken till Bengt Stor, som gillar att prata. Det får du. Okay, we're getting ready to play ball here. Guys are getting on the game faces. The celebration's over. Now we want a winner. Team Sweden is attempting to defend their title from last year when they played in the final against the world team. And now the world team is wanting a little revenge. That's why so many came back to try to win this game. Countdown to match start. Oh, and now we're gonna throw. We're gonna throw out our first. We're gonna throw out the first pitch. We have a player from Team Rättvik. We've been a part of Rättvik Active Week all week. And we're going to ask Victor Wiklund to come out and throw the first pitch. Here comes, give Victor Wiklund a warm applause. Det är första dagen på baseballskola och han får äran att slänga ut första kastet. Du får gå fram, här kommer den! It was a strike, yes! Victor Wikland. Tack så mycket. Nu får vi spela matchen på riktigt. På pitcherkullen har vi Sam Börjes. Han slänger till Oskar Järfsten. På första bas har vi Joel Jonsson. På tredje bas har vi Max Hill. På shortstop har vi Daniel Jonsson. Andra bas, Kalle Högland. Right field har vi Albin Check som spelar andra matchen för dagen. Spelade tidigare med Eurostars. Centerfield har vi Tommy Lindell. Ja, och sen i left field har vi Ole, nummer 22. Okay, we're getting ready to play ball. First batter for Team World is David Branch, number 17, and the game is underway. First pitch from Sam Börjes is a strike. Ball's hit to shortstop. Daniel Johnson goes in the hole, turns to throw. The throw is high. It gets past. The runner attempts to take second. There'll be a throw at second base, and he is out. Good recovery. The thing that happened was that Oskar Järfsten was hustling heads up, and he followed the runner down the line. He was able to take the overthrow. He was in the right place and was able to throw a strike to second base and got the runner out. Matt Miller up at the plate. First pitch was a strike. Foul ball out of play, off to the left side. Kids are going crazy around here because they're giving away lollipops and popsicles to the kids who bring the ball back to the concession stand. We've got a ground ball. Okay, we have Evan Opperman up at the plate. Carl Skuger runner has advanced to second base. And there's a sharply hit ball out to right field, but Albin Sheck is on it, runs in and makes the catch for the third out. Albin made an earlier play in right field. I think we went offline. He ran a ball down in deep right field for the second out. And so there is no harm done for Team Sweden, even though they had a runner on base. He was stranded. And so we have no runs, one hit, no errors one error for Team Sweden on the throw by Daniel Johnson, but it was recovered and the runner was retired, the leadoff runner. And now we have Team Sweden coming to bat. While we're between innings, we're going to go interview some people. I got a couple of guys that have traveled a distance Right here, I've got Victor with us. Where'd you come from?
Stockholm.
You came all the way to Stockholm for the games.
Yeah.
How did you travel up here?
By train.
You took the train. So far, so good?
It's amazing up here.
You're glad you came?
Yeah, 100%.
What are you doing when you're not playing baseball?
Hitting the gym, work a little extra, playing baseball.
Vad vill du göra när du blir stor?
Professionell baseballspelare.
Ja. På vid sidan om?
PT.
Ja, PT. Ja, det är bra. Gott att höra. Tack, Victor. Public address announcer is announcing the lineups. Leading off for Team Sweden will be Max Hill with Joel Johnson in the 2 slot. Max played earlier today, shortstop, and was the closing pitcher for the Eurostars, who won 13-4 over the Sweden Future Stars. It was a very good game through 7 innings. And then the Eurostars began to pull away, began to hit the ball, and the defense was stellar for the Eurostars. Really, both teams. It was a good morning of baseball at 11 o'clock. Then we had the Home Run Derby, which was won by Levi Moon. If you tuned in, the finals was Kali Höglund and Levi Moon. And Levi put on a show, a display, to win the competition. And he's catching right now for the world team. And Max Hill steps in to receive the first pitch from Mueller. We have LeBlanc in center field. Mueller is on the mound. He was batting second. Reed is at shortstop. Opperman at first base. We have Moon, as I mentioned, as the catcher. Ryan Arenas at second base. Batati is in right field. Castillo is at third base. Then we have John Michael Johnson in right field. And then Smith in left field. Tyler Smith from Florida. Max Hill fouls the first pitch back. Max chases a curveball. Second baseman Arena goes out and hauls it in, calling off the right fielder for the first out for Team World. So with 1 out, nobody on, our next batter for Team Sweden is number 13, Joel Johnson. Joel Johnson chases the first pitch, a soft ground ball to shortstop, and he is thrown out on a bang-bang play. Joel Johnson fast down the line, but he is out for the second out of the inning. Brings up our third batter, number 20, Daniel Johnson. Daniel's the older brother to Joel, who just hit. They grew up in Tronos. Played high school baseball in Montgomery, Alabama, and they went on to play college baseball at Covenant College, Lookout Mountain, Georgia. Daniel Johnson, swinging at the first pitch, fouls the first pitch back. One strike on the batter. And Daniel looks at the first ball low. We have 1 ball, 1 strike. We have 2 outs, nobody on against Team World. Daniel Johnson laces a line drive out to the left fielder, Tyler Smith, rounds the bag at first, coming in safe. So we have a 2-out hit by Daniel Johnson. So with 2 outs, we have a runner on first. Which brings up our next batter, Oscar Järvsten, catcher for Team Sweden. Has played most of his life in Sundsvall and has recently joined the Rättvik Butchers. Has brought a lot of energy to the club. Has given a lot of time to field improvement. Given every free moment to the Butchers. Loves baseball. His younger brother, Ole, was a part of the Sweden Futures in the first game. Curveball in for a strike. The throw down to second. Daniel Johnson has stolen second base. Comes in safely at second. Now he's in scoring position with 2 outs for Oscar Järvsten. Strike 1 on the batter, 2 outs. Mueller looks in, picks up the signs, shaking off a couple of signs from the catcher, Levi Moon, and the batter calls time. Järvsten steps out to regroup. For a hitter, that delay kind of can take one off rhythm, so they often call time, step out to regroup. There was another curve, this one up, the first baseman Opperman under it, and he hauls it in for the 3rd out. So no damage done on that late 2-out hit by Daniel Johnson and stolen base. So we have finished 1 inning of play, and in the bottom of the first, it was 1 hit, no runs, no errors for Team Sweden. So we finished 1, the score remains 0-0. So here we head to the top of the second. Now that we're in the top of second, we have our pause. Looking for my next victim. Here's a little fella coming by. What's your name, little man?
David,
David? Where are you born?
Alabama.
Actually, I think you're born in Ekerö, Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
But you've grown up in Alabama? Yeah? You love baseball? You play any other sports?
Soccer.
Soccer? What's your favorite position in baseball?
Shortstop.
You play any other positions?
Pitcher and catcher.
Yeah? What do you want to do? What's your goal for baseball? What do you want to do when you're a big player?
Go to MLB.
Go to MLB. That's the dream of all the young kids. Thank you, David. Okay, we are getting ready to start the second inning. Sam Bodius out, warming up with Oscar Järvsten. The Team Sweden defense is intact. Same defense with Max Hill at third base, representing Stockholm Baseball Club. Daniel Johnson at short. Kalle Höglund at second base. We have Joel Johnson at first. Albin Sheck is in right field. We have John Michael Johnson in center field. And Levi Moon comes to plate, a dangerous hitter, winner of the Home Run Derby, hails from Canada. First pitch is just a tad high, 1 ball on the batter. Second pitch nips the outside corner for strike 1. Sam Bodius, a 19-year-old quality player. Ball goes opposite field, deep to left field. That's going to drop into left field. Levi Moon stretches to second base. He'll come in standing up. The throw comes in to the shortstop, and Levi Moon is standing at second base with a leadoff double. First threat of the game for the world team. So our next batter is number 44, Ryan Arena. Represents Sundsvall, hails from New York. He steps in, prepares to swing. Sam Bodius picks up the sign. Pitching from the stretch. He comes with the first pitch. It's a strike that is fouled out of play across the street. 1 strike on the batter. When Sam is not on the mound, he's often at third base. Solid player. Ball misses high, second pitch, so we have 1-1 on the batter. Sam played shortstop for the Sweden Futures this morning, pitched 1 inning, so he has a few pitches left in the pitch count. And Ryan Arena chases the ball low. Puts Sam Bodius, the pitcher, ahead in the count with 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sam looks in, picks up the sign. And the ball is 2 out pitches laced into right field. It's going into the corner. Ryan Arena heading for second base. Levi Moons heading for home. And the game's first run is in for the World team. 1-0. Arena comes in standing up at second base. Ball actually got stuck in the corner, so it became a dead ball. And so Ryan could come in casually to second base. There's still no outs in the inning. Batati, your next batter. He's in. Takes a ball high. Batati playing for Sundsvall. Sam looks in, receives the sign, checks second base. He comes in with the throw. It's a ground ball hit towards second. Kalle Höglund fields it, flips it over to first to get the first out of the inning. Ryan Arena advances to third base. So Batati did his job to advance the runner on the ground ball, the opposite field ground ball. And they trade an out to move the runner into scoring position at third base. Castilla, your batter, number 1, plays for Stockholm. Sam looks in, pick up the signals. He's comfortable with Oscar Järvsten. They play on the same team. They work together. In comes the pitch. He bounces it in. It gets past the catcher. It'll go down as a wild pitch. And Ryan Arena comes in to score for the game's second run in the top of the second. So Team World has taken the lead in the top of the second 2-0. So now the bases are clear. Sam remains from the stretch. He's most comfortable throwing from the stretch. Does not throw from the windup. Behind 1 ball, no strikes. He looks in, comes to throw, misses high for the second ball. 2 balls, no strikes on the batter, Castilla. We've had thankfully, a rain-free day for the most part. The next pitch misses high, so Bodius falls behind. 3 balls, no strikes. And there was rain in the forecast all week, and then yesterday it looked like we had a chance to get the games in, and we've only had a few sprinkles in the first game. Otherwise, we've had a pause from the rain. Ball out of play, foul ball. Green light for Castilla, and he fouls it out of play. Misses the pitch that he wanted. Castilla hits a fly ball to shallow outfield. Daniel Johnson calls off the second baseman, chases it down, catches over his shoulder. An important out to get the second out of the inning. Communication between Höglund and Johnson, who play together on the Rättvik Butchers, so they're used to interacting. And shortstop was able to call off Höglund to get the second out of the inning. In to bat now is Tyler Smith, playing for Skellefteå from Orlando area, north of Orlando. As far as ground travel, I think Tyler traveled the furthest distance from Skellefteå down to Rättvik yesterday. Met up with the Sundsvall players in Sundsvall and made the 3.5-hour drive from Sundsvall down to Rättvik. Came in last night. And the Butchers were able to put them up. Glad to have them. Glad they're here to compete. There's a foul ball. Straight back against the screen for Tyler Smith. Tyler steps back in. Sam picks up the signals. Sets up outside. Misses outside. And Sam misses high for ball 4. Gives a free base to Tyler Smith. So we have Tyler Smith at first base.
Nu kommer då upp i teckningsavdelningen igen och vi har David LeBlanc.
So David steps in, number 17, playing for Stockholm. Tyler Smith at first base, Sam in the stretch. Comes home, misses high again. Sam missing a few high. 1 ball on the batter. Sam checks the runner. Safe at first. Letting the runner know that he sees him there. And the stretch and the pitch home. Fastball in for a strike. Foul back, another fastball. Upper portion of the strike zone. Fouled straight back. Sam ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Smith at first, picking up signals from the third base coach. Sam in the stretch. Checks the runner at first. The ball gets away from the first baseman. Tyler Smith advances to second, and he will stay satisfied to stay at second. So now Team World has a runner in scoring position, already leading 2-0 in the top of the second. Sam looks in, checks the runner, and the pitch misses just a little low. So we come to a full count on the batter with the base open at first. Sam back in the stretch, checks the runner at second. And Sam just misses. And on a full count. So David comes to first base. So now we have runners at first and second. Coach Bjorn Johannesson calls timeout just to talk things over with the pitcher. So while we have this pause, I'm going to, here comes a player for the Butchers. This is Felicia. Hey Felicia. Ja, vad har du för efternamn? Felicia?
Andersson Rosell.
Ja, var kommer du ifrån?
Orsa.
Orsa? Vad gör man i Orsa?
Ja, jag åker skridskor.
Du åker skridskor?
Ja.
Hela vintern?
Ja.
Okej. Men vad gör du under sommaren?
Spelar baseball.
Men det är ganska långt från Orsa. Hur lång tid tar det från Orsa till Rättvik?
Typ 45 minuter.
Är det värt det?
Ja.
Ja, men det är gott att höra. The next batter is Carl Skoga's representative, Hunter Reed. Excuse me, that's Mueller up at the plate. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Runners at first and second. And Bodius just misses on the outside corner. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Team Sweden trying to keep Team World off the board. They've already scored 2 runs in the top of this inning. Trying to limit the damage. This is a 9-inning game with no time limit. There's lots of time left. A lot can happen in the game. Ground ball up the middle to the shortstop. He bobbles it, and the runners advance safely to load the bases. An error on the shortstop, Daniel Johnson. Ball went off his glove. And so now Coach Bjorn Johannesson steps out for the second visit, which means we're going to have a change of pitchers. So with the bases loaded, Johannesson talks. He points to the bullpen. We'll have a few changes. It looks like Högland will come out of the game. Max Hill appears to be moving over to the middle infield, likely to second base. And out comes our next pitcher, our first Leksand representative of this game. Looks like Oscar Serin is going to take the hill. Oscar would be considered a young veteran. He's been playing baseball a long time. And so Oscar steps in to take over the pitching duties. Sam Bodius is going to move to third base, and Max Hill is going to move over to second base. And Kalle Högland will come out of the game. So while Oscar Serin warms up, let's see if we can find another victim to talk to. Let me climb in here and check out these guys who've been hanging around all day. Who do we have sitting next to us? Vem har vi här? Vad heter du då?
Jag heter Leo.
Leo, var kommer du ifrån?
Jag är egentligen från Sydkorea, men jag är adopterad hit till Sverige.
För hur länge sedan?
Jag kom hit när jag var 9 månader.
9 månader? Så du minns inte resan, va?
Nej.
Det var en lång resa, får jag lova.
Ja.
Ja, och nu är du adopterad till en familj.
Jajamän.
Det är inte det Daniel och Malin?
Jo,
ja,
helt rätt.
Som tar hand om dig. Jag minns jag träffade dig förra året.
Jajamensan.
Vi hade baseballskola, du satt i bilen.
Ja.
Det var inte säkert du ville komma.
Nej.
Men nu kan vi inte bli av med dig.
Nej, det här är en sport man verkligen faller för.
Ja, du spelade 13-åriga under förra året. Men nu spelar du i vilket lag?
Leksand Lumberjacks U15.
U15, det är en fördelning av Rättvik och Leksand-spelare, eller hur?
Jajamensan.
Ja, ganska jämn fördelning. Leksand-spelare oftast mer erfarna, har spelat lite längre.
Ja.
Men du har haft några succé ut på planen. Har du slagit en homerun någon gång?
Ja, jag har slagit 2 hittills. En Grand Slam och en homerun.
Vad var du när du slog Grand Slammen?
Jag var i Leksand på... Och det var min första.
Knäcke Cup, eller hur?
Jajamensan.
Ja, och så är det den andra.
Den andra var jag i Karlskoga på... vad var det för cup?
Ja, det var en turnering där.
Ja.
Thank you, Leo. Nice to talk to you. Thanks for letting me interrupt your time. We've got our batter up, our Karlskoga representative, Oscar Serin, the Leksand pitcher, steps in, throws the first ball for a strike. Oscar Serin has a brother who also plays, as we interviewed earlier, and we'll see him probably a little later. So Serin is in. Picks up the sign from Oscar Järvsten, checks the runner. We have runners at first and second. Curveball in for a strike.
Dad, is that
Hunter Reed into bat. Plays for Karlskoga. Runners at first and second. Serin throws in a high strike. Hunter Reed fouls it straight back next to the scoreboard. It lands softly on the ground. The kids are chasing it. Two outs in the inning. Runners at first and second. pitch, falls in low, bounces in the dirt, evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Have Mueller at first base, David at second base for the world team. Threatening again here in the top of the second. Fastball comes in the high part of the strike zone and is fouled back. When we play these types of games, the players aren't used to playing together, so there's a lot more communication than normal. So a lot of talking between pitches to talk through who's going to cover the base, second base. I said earlier that Max Hill was going to second, but he actually moved over to shortstop and Daniel Johnson slid over to second base. So Stockholm and Ratvik represented in the middle infield. Oscar Serene looks in. Here comes the curveball up the middle, and it gets through the infield. Runners advance. Tyler Smith is in. David is in. 2-run score on the base hit up the middle. A 2-out base hit by Hunter Reed. So now the World team has runners at first and third. It's a big inning for Team World. They now have 4 runs in this inning to take a 4-0 lead. Next up for the World team is Evan Opperman, number 37. Runners at first and third. Serene looks in. Comes the first pitch, a fastball high that Opperman fouls off on the right field side. Opperman behind in the count. No balls, 1 strike. Serene looks in, has picked up the signal. Checks the runner. The pitch and the stretch. And it's a deep fly ball out into left field. John Michael Johnson runs it down, hauls it in for the 3rd out for Team Sweden to stop the rally. But not after a little damage is done. 4 runs in for the World team in the top of the second to take a 4-0 lead. So in the inning, we had 4 runs on 3 hits. There was an error up the middle that kept the inning alive. Pitching change, where Serene came in for Sambodius. So now we head to the bottom of the second inning with a score 4-0. It's been good fan support here. A lot of field work has been done. The winter takes its toll on the wooden bleachers, but this week a lot of the wood was replaced and the bleachers have been stabilized, and it's 3/4 full of fans. The Butchers played down in a valley in a group. It's a former slaughter yard, Morton's Slakteri. That's why the team is called the Ratvik Butchers. So for the fans, there's really not a bad seat in the house. You can sit up on a hill. You can even watch from the road. You can sit all the way down the first base line. There's areas that are cut out. Benches are placed out. White chairs are all over the place. People even sit up on the top of the hill by the parking lot where you can get really a great view and stay near your car. Mueller will continue on the hill for the World team. And he's thrown his warm-up cast. And now our first batter for Team Sweden comes up. Our Sundsvall representative, Brian Estati, originally from Cuba, but now hails year-round in Sundsvall. He's played several years for the Sundsvall Mosquitoes. He steps in. Mueller comes with the first pitch. It's a curveball, and he swings at it, and it slips through the infield down the third baseline, right down the line. And so Brian Estati is on with a leadoff single, much needed for Team Sweden. Brings up our next batter for Team Sweden, Sam Bodius, who started on the mound and since moved to third base. And now he steps in as a left-handed hitter with a runner on first base. So Team Sweden has put in a pinch runner for Brian Estati. Another Sundsvall Mosquito. I'm having trouble seeing who it is. Is it Lena Skröland, I think? I think it's Lena Skröland who has come in to pinch run for Brian Estati. Mueller throws over to first. He's safe at first on the pickoff attempt. Coach Bjorn Johannesson gives instruction to the first base runner. Mueller checks the runner, throws home with another curveball that slips up the middle, gets past the second baseman, Ryan Arena, to put two runners on the base. Quirlin comes into second base. Sam Bodius with a hard hit ground ball right up the middle. Goes down as a hit. So we have runners at first and second with nobody out in the bottom of the second. Brings up our next batter, a local player who's already played for the Eurostars, Albin Scheck. He's in right field for Team Sweden. He steps in, number 19. Mueller checks the runners. Comes with a fastball that is bunted foul by Albin Scheck. No balls, one strike. Runners remain at first and second. No balls, one strike. Johannesson gives signals. Check to see if this is going to be another bunt attempt. He squares for the bunt and fouls it back and falls behind in the count. No balls and two strikes. So with Scheck behind in the count, Mueller steps in, picks up the signal from the catcher, checks the runner at second, checks twice, comes with a fastball that just misses low. I believe there could have been a mix-up between the pitcher and the catcher on that one, on the call. In all likelihood, our catcher called a off-speed, maybe a curveball. It came with a fastball, caught him off guard. So now here comes the next pitch. And Albin fouls it off to stay alive. Still two strikes on the batter.
Prata svenska. Jag vet inte vad man måste göra. Man måste titta på.
I'm surrounded by a bunch of kids that have been chasing foul balls, and they have gotten their cola popsicles. Yeah, what is your name?
Tia.
Hey, Tia, you got your popsicle. I think you've been chasing foul balls the whole time.
Är det du som pratade?
Ja, nej, det är jag som pratar här. Jag sitter här och kollar matchen. And här har vi Albin Scheck. Pitch comes in. He checks his swing, and it is called a strike three. So Albin Scheck is out on a called third strike. Does a little damage to Team Sweden when they had runners first and second, no outs, and the goal was to move the runners up, but they remain at second and first. Our next batter is Ulif number 22 from Sundsvall Mosquitoes, he steps in and tries to do what Albin couldn't do, and that's move the runners up. The ball is tapped to the pitcher who has trouble fielding it, throws to first, and he is safe at first on the ball that got away from the pitcher. So he had to take another step. It threw first baseman Evan Opperman off balance. So he had to reach, and he pulled away from the bag. Likely the foot came off the bag. So we have the umpire at first base is calling timeout because the coach for the world team, Evan Opperman, asked for a review of that call. Of course, in Sweden, we don't have a review, but there is the possibility for the umpires to come together and discuss if either of the other umpires saw the play. Would have been very difficult for the home plate umpire to see what had happened, whether the foot came off the bag or if he beat the throw. Perhaps Thomas Jansson, the third base umpire, saw something that our first base umpire did not see, and the call was overruled as the umpires came together. So Ule is out at first base for the second out of the inning, which leaves us with 2 outs, and we still have Sam Bodius and Linus Krolin at second base and third base, respectively. In steps John Michael Johnson, takes ball 1 high. John Michael Johnson, born in Atlanta, Georgia, but grew up in Toronto, Sweden, is currently playing college baseball at Masters University in Santa Clarita, California, north of Los Angeles. John Michael Johnson has, while in college, picked up the ability to hit from both sides, so he sometimes hits from the left side now, most confident from the right side. One ball on the batter. Runners remain at second and third. We have 2 outs. In comes a fastball that just misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes on Johnson. Coach gives green light for John Michael. No take here. He'll be swinging away if he likes the pitch. John Michael had a base hit in his first at bat. And the ball misses low. I was behind on the count, and that is ball 4, excuse me. So now we've loaded the bases with 2 outs, and in comes the leadoff batter. We're back around to the top of the order. So Stockholmer Max Hill steps in with 2 outs, and with the bases loaded, Max is playing college ball in Kentucky, near Lexington, Kentucky. Home for the summer, playing for Stockholm Monarchs. And he takes the first pitch high and in for 1 ball, no strikes. Max's younger brother played earlier today for the Future Stars. And they faced one another with Felix on the hill and Max batting. Max got the better of him with a base hit to left field against his brother. Second pitch was in for a strike, so we have 1 ball, 1 strike. Mueller checks the signal, checks the runner at third, comes home with the pitch, and it is a off-speed pitch that gets Max Hill on his front foot for the second strike, swinging strike. So now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Hill. Mueller checking the runner, coming home. Here comes a curveball that just misses on the inside and low. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's been very encouraging to see how many people have come out today and stayed with us all day. It's been a long day. Started with a baseball clinic for kids from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10. That was led by John Michael Johnson, and Max Hill was swinging on the third pitch, a low ball, but he swung and it tipped the ball, but it was taken by catcher Levi Moon, teammate in Stockholm, to end the inning. So the threat is over for Team Sweden. They strand 3 runners, a couple of hits in the inning. So the score as we head to the top of the third remains World Team 4, Team Sweden nothing.
When I lost way from school.
This is very much an International Baseball Day. I'm heading over to the World Team dugout. Ryan Arena, who was a part of the Home Run Derby. Ryan, you're fixing to step up the plate.
Sir.
I'm coming to break your competition, your concentration.
Yeah, that's fine.
Have you faced Oscar Serene before?
I have faced him last year. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty confident, Gary. We'll let the play do the talking, though. See how it goes.
Yeah, we'll be watching.
I
Thank you,
appreciate
Ryan.
that.
Yeah,
Cruise
let's
attack,
get that
Gary.
going. And following Ryan Arena will be the the first batter in the inning will be Levi Moon, the winner of the Home Run Derby. And Ryan will be batting second this inning. So stepping up to the plate is Levi Moon. Well, yeah, Team Sweden threatened there in
What's up, Gary?
in the bottom of the second, but they
Yeah.
left all three runners. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I wasn't really too nervous because I know we got probably the best pitcher in the league pitching for us right now. So I felt super confident. We got a great defense, and I know we're going to score more runs than 4. So I just want to have an exciting game for the fans.
There you go.
Mhm.
Sounds good. It looks like over in the bullpen for Team Sweden is little big brother for Oscar. So it looks like Team Sweden still has some good pitching. Levi Moon steps in to start off the top of the third inning. Levi is from Canada, takes the first pitch, a fastball for a strike. Looking for his pitch. Team Sweden adjusting to a left-handed hitter. Off-speed pitch is fouled away. Had Levi on his front foot, fouls it away. He's behind in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Levi is predominantly a pull hitter. I noticed in the Home Run Derby he tried to go opposite field with no success. Shorter fence. So he just decided to go back to pulling the ball and won the contest. We have an all-speed pitch that Moon swings at. Catcher Oscar Yerson hauls it in, picks it up, throws accurately to the first baseman Joel Johnson for the first out of the inning. So now coming up to the plate is the second baseman Ryan Arena. We have a couple of Sundsvall players in a row here. Ryan Arena steps in. Serene picks up the signal. No runners on, but he still pitches from the stretch. First pitch misses high for ball 1, a fastball. Ryan was here last year, played for Sweden, for Sundsvall in a shortened Corona season. He was very successful. A hard hit ball to the shortstop Max Hill, who guns him out at first base for the second out of the inning. Hard hit ball, but hit right at the shortstop, who took it on the short hop, made a good throw. Batati, our next batter, Sundsvall, the World Team, with Castilla on deck, Stockholm representative. Serene has the sign, comes with a fastball, hits the outside corner for a strike. 2 outs in the inning. Team Sweden hoping to make quick of things so they can get in and get back in the game. Curveball misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. And 1 on the batter. Fastball hit opposite field to Daniel Johnson, who's playing second base. He spins, makes a throw. The throw is off the mark. He was going to be safe, it appears, anyway. We'll see if they rule that an error. So Matata is at first base. Brings up Castilla, Stockholm representative. With a runner on first and 2 outs, Serene checks the runner, has the signal. Here comes a fastball, hitting high and deep to left field. Left fielder backs up and now is able to come in and hauls it in for the 3rd out of the inning. So no harm done with the base runner. And so we will head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, where Team Sweden tries to get a few runs to get back in the game. Team World leads 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Here comes the third base coach, Alex Aucoin. Come talk to me, Alex. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
I think you are tied for first place for the player who traveled the furthest to make this weekend. Where did you fly
I
from?
flew from Montgomery, Alabama. Actually, I started in Atlanta to JFK, then all the way to Stockholm.
Okay, and then, but we're still a good 3.5 hours from Stockholm. How'd you get from the Stockholm airport here?
We did some train traveling.
When did you arrive?
We got here around 11 a.m. and then waited for Will, my companion that came from Florida, and then we took the 12 o'clock. Got here around 5:07.
On Thursday, is that right?
That's right, Thursday.
So yesterday was your first full day.
Full day, yeah.
And then now you're in your
Saturday? Today's
a
Saturday,
whole
Thursday,
day
Friday,
of
Saturday.
baseball right here.
Yeah.
So
At
Alex,
38, it feels a little different trying to get ready.
yeah, is this your first time in Ratvik?
Second time. I was here last year for 5 weeks.
Okay. You are a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
Pitched for Ratvik. I think you pitched in the final, the SM final.
Yeah,
you finished
right
the last
behind
3.
Ben on the cast.
Yeah.
Coming right behind him.
Last 3.
That was a great
innings.
time.
That was a great time. So what are you going to do when you leave Sweden?
Friday, we're then heading to Germany for a tournament there, and we're going to actually visit the Nuremberg Atomics and then stop by Seesock, Switzerland to meet Taylor. And we're going to do some drop off some baseball stuff and do some friendly games, and then have some barbecue, and then help out with the church with Steven. And we're just going to enjoy playing baseball and helping out the ball clubs over there.
So you're 12 days in Germany. Visiting the Nuremberg Atomics.
That's right, 12 days.
Okay, so one visit to the Ratvik Butchers,
Yeah.
and then to the Nuremberg Atomics. Thank you, Alex.
you, Gary.
Appreciate it. In to hit for Team Sweden is Joel Johnson. Faces Mueller, who has another inning, misses low with a fastball. Joel Johnson played earlier today with the Eurostars, was the DH, and finished the game at shortstop when Max Hill came in to close. Fastball is fouled back, out of play, into the stands. Joel, in his second season with Ratvik Butchers, spent 5 seasons with Sölvesborg Firehawks, won 3 SM Guld. He takes the curveball, drives it hard, but right to the center fielder, who needed to take about 3 steps to his left, and he is out on the line drive to center field. So with 1 out in the inning, up steps his older brother, Daniel Johnson. Daniel Johnson was also a Sölvesborg Firehawk until Corona stepped in and led to a canceled season for the Firehawks. And Daniel laces one to the third baseman. Ball pops out. He fields it on the hop, and he is called out at first base. A hard hit ball to the third baseman, David, who knocked it down, picked it up, and made the play at first base. So our next batter for Team Sweden is Oscar Järvsten. With 2 outs in the inning. Oscar steps in. Mueller picks up the sign. The pitch is hit off the leg, a foul ball, even though it rolls out to the pitcher. Foul ball, strike 1 on Oscar Järvsten. Plenty of daylight left. This far in the north in the summer, the sun sets closer to 11 o'clock at night. No need for lights here. Oscar gets jammed on an inside fastball for a strike that he swatted at. So Järvsten behind in the count. 2 strikes. In comes a curveball that he hits up to the shortstop. Shortstop fields it cleanly, fires to first to end the inning for Team Sweden. So in the bottom of the third, there were no runs, no hits, no errors. And we go to the 4th inning. The score remains 4-0 to Team World. As I mentioned earlier, there was a children's clinic that was surprisingly well attended, even though it was set for 8 in the morning. From 8 to 10, John Michael Johnson led a very strong clinic that was appreciated by both the kids and the parents. There's been a lot of baseball schools here in Rättvik this summer, more than usual. We're in the middle of Rättvik Active Week, where the various activity föreningar come together and make offerings where the children buy a band for 250 crowns and they're free to attend any activity for 7 days. You can check that out at rättvikactiveweek.se. rättvikactiveweek.se. This is our first try at the Rättvik Active Week, and the goal is that it will complement the summer. Rättvik is known for Classic Car Week that comes in the end of the July and the first week in August, where probably there's nowhere else on the planet that you can see more old American cars that have been reconditioned and in sometimes mint condition that come and tour around Rättvik. The place packs out. There's festivals, activities. We'll actually be doing a baseball school during that week. That is the end of July and the first week of August, Classic Car Week here in Rättvik in Dalarna. First batter for World Team is Tyler Smith. Serene still on the mound. First pitch is a fastball high, but Tyler Smith pops it out into right field. Albin Scheck hauls it in, throws to the second baseman. So Tyler Smith is in with a single. Give a good start to the World Team here in the top of the 4th. So David Whitlock steps in, plays for Stockholm with a runner on first. Serene checks the runner, throws over to first just to let him know he's seasoned. Keep him honest at first. Smith with good speed representing Skellefteå, the only Skellefteå representative this year's tournament. Didn't have one last year, so we're glad to have a representative from Skellefteå. As I mentioned before, as far as ground travel, Tyler Smith certainly traveled the furthest. Serene has the signal. Checks the runner, the stretch, the pitch is in for a fastball strike to David Whitlock. Stretch, the pitch, misses low, all-speed pitch. Missed just low. David not chasing it. In the stretch, here comes the pitch, misses high with a fastball. Team Sweden needing to get a double play, certainly get the lead runner. Bell up the middle, Johnson at second base. Yerstein catching, fastball. Nips the outside corner at the knees. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Team Sweden needing an out here. Hoping for a strikeout or a fly ball. Or perhaps a ground ball. Batter calls time, just in time, and gets the timeout from the umpire. I believe Serene felt like that was a little late for the umpire to grant the timeout. He went ahead and threw the pitch anyway. So we start over here, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch, a curveball that sneaks its way into left field, advances the runners. Tyler Smith to second base. David in with a single. Got in between the shortstop and the third baseman. Hard hit ball. Mueller, our pitcher, steps in on the left side, which is difficult to defend for the defense with runners at first and second. They're hoping for a ground ball to turn 2. Hard to get the lead runner. Serene picks up the signal, checks the runner at second. Set, stretch, pitch, fastball for a strike. There's no outs. Runners at second and first. Next inning. Another strike on the batter. Evan Opperman letting us know that we will have a pitching change for the world team. Curveball is laced out into left field. It's down. It gets by the left fielder. Tyler Smith rounds third and heads for home. Another run for the world team. 5th run of the game. Tyler Smith, who started the inning with a base hit to right field. So we still have runners at first and second. So the runners trade places. We have Mueller at second, at first base, and Hunter Reed steps in. Hunter represents Karlskoga Bats. We have David at second base, first and second. Team Sweden desperately needing an out here, hoping to get the lead runner or a double play up the middle. Fastball called for a strike.
Like that little capper?
Yeah, I like that capper. Tyler Smith walks by, going to get some more water. Had the lead-off capper. Looped into right field to get the rally started. Ball misses low in the dirt. The runners do not advance. Yerstein on top of it, checking the runners. Reed has had a successful season in Karlskoga. Karlskoga Bats on the upswing. A great kids program. They just hosted a 15 and under tournament that was very successful. Fastball misses away. Karlskoga, you play on the top of a hill near a water tower with a short left field fence, but a very high net over it. It's very enjoyable to play there. It's always a goal of the hitters to try to lift one over that net and hit the water tower or in Karlskoga. Tyler, come just for a second. Let me talk to you because you just hit. Tyler, you're from north of Orlando, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're in Skellefteå. Tell me how the experience in Skellefteå has been.
It's been a blast. I mean, coming from south of the United States and getting to play up in north of Sweden, it's just been a blast. I'm loving it. 24-hour sun, having a great time.
It's good to hear. It's a great place to be. While I'm interviewing Tyler, there was a base hit to the third baseman. It was right down the line. The third baseman, Sam Bodius, knocked it down, but not before Hunter Reed could get to first base. So now we have the bases loaded. And the team captain, Evan Opperman, comes to the plate. He's actually a player coach for the world team. Captain, coach, organizer of the tournament, Evan Opperman. Played his college ball in California as well. And has since found his wife in Ratvik. Actually, they were recently engaged. Wedding is in the near future. But right now, Evan Opperman is thinking about the pitch that's coming. Honed in, the pitch from Serene, misses high. The team world enjoying being together. It does make for a formidable group when all the imports who come together. It makes them strong at every position. Strong pitcher, strong battery all together. Good hitters. And they're hard to beat. And it shows on the scoreboard because they're leading 5-0. They've got the bases loaded right now with a dangerous hitter, Opperman, up to bat. Curveball misses. Opperman misses. Change of speed. Fooled Opperman. So now that evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Joel Johnson, the first baseman, creeps in case he might have a play at the plate. Curveball misses low. No place to put Evan Opperman. But at the same time, Serene can't just serve it up with Opperman as a dangerous hitter. Can hit to all fields. Here comes the fastball, which is ripped. The shortstop knocks it down, makes the play at second to get the out. He's safe at first, but a run scores. David comes home to score the 6th run for attempt at a double play. Well played by Max Hill, who dove to his right, knocked it down, flipped it to Johnson, who made an immediate turn to first, but Opperman was able to get down the line. Now we have a timeout where head coach Bjorn Johannesson comes out to talk to Oscar Serene, go over things. I don't think there'll be a pitching change right now, but they're discussing strategy. So now you have runners at first and third. Sun coming out here in Ratvik. The sun is behind home plate, so sometimes can be trouble for the center fielder as it's low on the horizon this time of day. So John Michael Johnson has his sunglasses on, checking the sun, looking around. Now we have our Japanese representative who plays for Sundbyberg. It's our first Sundbyberg player to join for the world team. Sarita, the batter, is going to come in at catcher next inning. And he takes the ball high. Sarita is from Japan, but has come to Stockholm for several reasons, but plays for the Sundbyberg Heat. Have Arena on deck. Ball just misses off the corner. This is Sarita's second trip to Rapid when Christy Himmelfath's dog, Sundsvall. We have a run down at first base. The rider's tagged out, and the run scores. So we had actually we had a ball 4, and so there was no steal. The second baseman chased down the runner who was going to have a free pass to second base, Opperman, and the runner at his own risk sprinted home for the 7th run for Team World. Arena hits a chopper to third base. He touches the bag and throws to first for the double play. A good play by Sam Budius to be heads up to get the force at third and then make the throw across the diamond to first base. The double play ends the inning, but not before the World team picks up 3 runs in the top of the 4th. So now we're heading to the bottom of the 4th with Team World leading by 7 runs, 7-0. Team Sweden hoping to get a little offense going. They faced a formidable pitcher in Mueller from Karlskoga, but now we have a pitching change now. South African Dylan O'Brien is taking the mound as the new pitcher for the World team. Dylan hails from Durban, Eastern Cape, South Africa. Dylan was recently named to the under-23 South African national team as a pitcher. And in the middle of October, Dylan will travel to Taiwan to play in the World Cup. Great advantage for South African baseball players. Considered a small sport in South Africa, but South Africa has the strongest baseball on the African continent, so they win the African continental competitions typically, and they've been able to go to the World Championships. They'll be a part of the World Baseball Classic coming up. The senior team will be part of the World Baseball Classic, and mid-October, the under-23 World team will travel to Taiwan to play in the World Cup. Dylan will be a part of that team as a pitcher. Dylan has come to Sweden for 3 months. He'll be part of the Rättvik Butchers. He's been here working with children, part of the many projects that we've had going with children, work projects for the club. Whatever he's asked of, he's there. We have a new catcher, Sarita from Japan, will be the catcher. Mueller, who was on the mound, he has moved to second base. Opperman remains at first base. Castillo is at third base. Ryan Arena moves out to left field. Looks like David has moved over to center field. And Batati has moved to right field. So a lot of changes for the World team as they have a commanding lead. Looks like in a pinch hitter's role, have another Sundsvall Mosquito. Who do we have here?
Johnny Flogel, hailing from New Jersey.
Johnny Flogel.
The Dirty Jers.
He showed up last night. Ready to play ball with a smile on his face.
Just excited to be here. Just excited to be in Sweden, seeing some good baseball. It's just a blessing.
Johnny, with Sweden's fifth largest lake just behind you, Lake
Yeah.
Siljan, I just wonder if you're not torn a little bit between fishing or playing
Oh
baseball.
man, it's tough. It's tough. And I see they got the rocks out there, the rock jetties. I'm thinking about crawling over the fence yesterday. I did bring my rod. It's in the back of the car. So
Something tells me you may have a late night tonight. We're playing baseball all day, but
Yeah.
man, there's plenty of fishing to be done.
there's plenty to be done, and the sun doesn't set. So we're going to
go.
be out there for sure.
That sounds good.
Just got to keep Ryan under control. I got a couple jobs tonight.
There you go. That's right. First pitch to our batter is foul back. Batting for Team Sweden is Brian Estati. He fouled the first pitch back from O'Brien. Curveball is in for a strike and fouled away. Fought off by Estati. So Estati falls behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Dylan, a quick worker from the mound, likes to pitch from a windup with nobody on. He picks up the signal, the stretch, the pitch is a fastball, just missed. And has the signal, head in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Just misses low. Fastball in, ground ball to the third baseman. Castilla fields it in, stretch, ball gets away from Opperman, and Estati will stay at first base on the overthrow, or the underthrow, I should say, that Evan couldn't scoop up. So Team Sweden has a runner at first base. That's the second time Brian has made it to first base. So now we're going to have a pinch runner for him. I think he's nursing an injury, and in this tournament, there's free substitution, running for the catcher to speed up the game. So the assigned pinch runner is Ule. He's at first base, also a Sundsvall Mosquito. So now O'Brien comes from the stretch, checks the runner, the stretch, the pitch, fastball in. Swing and miss by our next batter, Sam Bodius. No balls, 1 strike. No outs in the inning. Here comes the pitch, another fastball that Bodius misses. So once again, O'Brien's ahead in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. As I said before, he's a quick worker, focused, makes quick work of things. Here comes another fastball that just missed low and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on first base. No outs for Team Sweden. The stretch, the pitch, curveball is in for a called third strike. First out of the inning. Sambodi is fooled on the pitch. Brings up our next batter for Team Sweden, Albin Sheck. He's played a lot of baseball today, was very effective as a setup man on the mound for the Eurostars. Played right field, made a diving catch already in the first inning. Swings and misses. Excuse me, a foul ball back. 1 strike on the batter. Sets his feet. O'Brien toes the rubber. Picks up the signal from the catcher. It's in the stretch. Checks first base. Chooses to go home with another curveball. The ball is apparently in play. Third baseman goes over toward the fence and makes the catch in foul territory for the second out of the inning. Nice play right at the third base dugout at the fence for the second out. So that quickly we have 2 outs for the world team. In to hit is the pitcher, number 69, Lexon Lumberjack, Oscar Serene. Run it first with 2 outs. Fastball's taken deep to center field. Looks playable. Center fielder drifts back, is under it, and makes the play to end the inning. Ends that threat from Team Sweden. Now we have finished 4 innings. Score remains World Team 7, Team Sweden nothing. Looks like we have a pitching change. Where looks like Joachim Serene has come in to pitch for Team Sweden. Oscar Serene moves over to first base. The rest of the infield remains the same with Daniel Johnson at second base, Max Hill at shortstop, Sambodius at third base. Joel Johnson moves from first base out to center field, where he's most comfortable. Plays center field for the Rat Big Butchers. Played center field in college. Was a catcher. After some injuries, he moved to the outfield, third base, and then later to the outfield. John Michael Johnson, who was in center, moves to right field. Alvin Sheck slides over to left field. World Team first batter is a representative of the Sundsvall Mosquitoes, Batati. Serene. First appearance in the tournament. Also pitches from the stretch at all times. First pitch is in. Fastball. Hits the batter. And so Batati is able to take the base. Castilla steps in as the next batter for the World Team. Castilla in with Batati on first base. Fastball is chopped to third base. Bodius decides to throw to first. Gets the runner at first base. With the momentum coming in, he didn't have a chance to flip a throw to the second baseman. Chose to go to first. Gets the runner. First out in the inning. Advances the runner. Brings up the pinch hitter, Johnny Flogel. Jersey boy, who I just interviewed. He's now up at the plate, getting ready to pinch hit here. Plays for Sundsvall, chops another ball to Sambodius, checks the runner, throws to first. For the second out. Brings up David. With 2 outs, runners at second base. David LeBlanc steps in, plays for Stockholm. So with 2 outs in the inning, Serene picks up the signal, checks the runner. The stretch, the pitch, a fastball, just misses inside. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Just misses outside. Hanging right around the plate, just not getting the call that he wants. 2 balls. 2 outs, runner at second. Fastball is chopped foul. Two balls, 1 strike on the batter, LeBlanc. Fastball in for a strike. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. We have 2 outs in the inning. Serene, certainly one of the tallest pitchers in Sweden. Linus Frölund also has some height, but Serene has a long stretch toward home plate. Make the ball appear even faster. Here comes the fastball, which is chopped again up the middle. Knocked down by Hill, the shortstop. And LeBlanc in for in on an infield hit. So it moves the runner to third base. So we have runners at first and third. Still 2 outs. This time last year, Team Sweden won the game over the world team. Looks like the world team has come, focused. Has jumped on the board already in the second inning with 4 runs. They added 3 in the fourth. Fastball misses high and away. We got the kids coming in around us, chasing foul balls. I'm just wondering if one of the kids wants to trade in a ball and get the speaker a popsicle. LeBlanc steals second, in safely. Runner remains at third base. We have runners second and third with 2 outs now and scoring position for Mueller, the batter for Team Sweden, the world team. Still hoping one of these kids are going to bring me a nice cola pop. Fastball is called for a strike. Low and in, but nipped the corner. Nice pitch by Serene. Curveball misses low. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the inning. Runners at second and third for the world team. Here comes the pitch, a fastball that's fouled away. Maybe that's the ball that will get me a cola pop. I'm using a microphone where I can go just about anywhere I want to. I'm thinking about chasing a foul ball so I can get myself a nice cola pop. The butchers are generous to give away these nice pops for anybody that brings a game ball back in. So the kids are chasing them everywhere into the thick bush. Fastball is ripped to second base, but hops up nicely to Johnson. He throws the runner out at third to end the threat. In spite of a couple of base runners, no damage is done. Now we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Team Sweden hoping to put a couple of runs on the board. Scores, we head to the bottom of the fifth. Team World 7. Team Sweden nothing.
I hear the track of the wind tonight. Some hear lonely whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flights. Bullet windows reflect the stars that guide me towards sun.
Dylan O'Brien will continue on the mound for the world team with Sarita from Japan as the catcher. First batter for Team Sweden will be John Michael Johnson, who plays right field. Johnson plays right field regularly for the Ratvik Butchers. Then we'll return to the top of the order with Max Hill, Joel Johnson standing on deck. O'Brien picks up the signal from the windup, comes with the first pitch, a fastball that John Michael fouls away. One strike on the batter. Here's the pitch, a curveball, just misses a little high and in. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball also misses high. 2 balls, 1 strike on Johnson. John Michael, the 12U coach here in Ratvik, working with the kids, and he swings and fouls the ball.
You have to have a big gun. No. You can't pay for it.
Comes the pitch, a fastball that John Michael was fooled on, probably looking for an off-speed pitch perhaps. Strikeout gets him. O'Brien effective on the mound for the world team. Was also effective for the Eurostars at second base, got a base hit. Was on base more than once. Was part of a double play in the Eurostars Sweden Futures game that the Eurostars won. Here comes the pitch to Max Hill. Fastball for a strike. O'Brien settling in. Getting comfortable on the mound. Picks up the signal. Agrees with the catcher from the windup. Misses in and low. First time that O'Brien has worked with Sarita, the catcher for Sumbabadi. Japan meets South Africa in Ratvik, Sweden. O'Brien misses high. Team Sweden pulling for Hill to rally the troops, get a base runner or two, start a rally. But Max Hill swings and misses. A little frustrated with himself and wanted that pitch. Swung and missed. Here comes the off speed that Hill chases. Was down, but Hill chased it. Effective pitch by O'Brien to get Max Hill. These games helping Dylan O'Brien get ready for the U23 World Cup. Perhaps his coaches for that team are watching live or will look at the playback here to see how their pitcher's faring as he gets ready to play in Taiwan for represent South Africa. Fastball in for a strike against Joel Johnson. O'Brien facing one college baseball player after another. Joel Johnson played his college ball in Lookout Mountain, Georgia for Covenant College. And Joel Johnson lines the ball into left field for a base hit. Hill is currently with 1 year of eligibility and playing in Kentucky. Next batter is another Covenant College graduate, Daniel Johnson. Daniel and Joel played together. Daniel was an infielder, finished his time, eventually won the job at shortstop for Covenant College. O'Brien comes with a fastball in, location that Johnson didn't want. O'Brien ahead in the count. No balls, one strike. Looks at Johnson, taking a little extra lead, throws over to first. He's in safely. O'Brien letting Johnson know he's got his eye on him. Johnson very fast, steals a lot of bases. He fakes going. Daniel Johnson fouls it back. Second strike on Johnson. And Johnson goes down swinging to end the inning. Dylan very effective in his 2 innings of work. Team Sweden having a little difficulty getting the offense going. They've had runners on base, but they've not had the timely hits that they've wanted. They still have a goose egg on the scoreboard. We played 5 innings. World team with 4 runs in the second and 3 runs in the fourth have taken a 7-0 lead. And we'll head to the 6th. Ja, under pausen tänkte jag kom ner till vår teknisk ledare. Hoppas ni har uppskattat att kunna se matchen från flera olika håll. Tack vare vår ledare i det tekniska. Vem har jag här?
Henrik Nordling heter jag.
Henrik, du verkar som det är inte första gången du har hållit på med det här. När blev du intresserad av videofilm och det tekniska så att folk kunde se på internet eller tv?
Ja, rörlig bild har jag varit intresserad av ganska länge, men det tog ju fart under pandemin. Då behövdes det ju sändas mycket på YouTube och Facebook eftersom folk inte kunde träffas.
Så det var rätt personen i rätt tid?
Ja, precis. Det drog väl igång då och ja, det började med att man skaffade lite grejer och sen har det bara fortsatt. Det har funnits gott om arbetsmöjligheter att göra detta.
Ja, så allt jag ser här är din utrustning, eller hur?
Jajamän, stämmer bra.
Ja, du har skaffat lite i taget, eller hur?
Det har kommit lite i taget, absolut.
Ja.
Oj, jag vill inte ha betalt.
Hunter Reed från Skogen.
We have Hunter Reed at the plate. As you've seen, Oscar Serene is still on the mound. Still throwing to Oscar Jefferson behind the plate. The defense remains the same for Team Sweden, no changes. With Sam Bodius at third base, Max Hill at second, a high fastball in for a strike. Daniel Johnson at second base, Oscar Serene at first base, Joel Johnson in center field, Albin Sheck in left field, and John Michael Johnson in right field. Here comes the pitch. Curveball misses low. Count on the batter. Serene picks up the signal. Stretch, the pitch, curveball. Nips the corner for a called third strike. Hunter Reed not convinced that that was a strike. Asked the umpire where it was. Evan Opperman comes in to hit for World Team. He's been a catcher in Ratvik for several years, now playing other positions, including pitcher, first base, a little bit of third base. Fastball misses in.
There you go. I'll take a look.
This is just in. Fouled out of play. Nice pitch from Serene. Opperman couldn't quite get around on it, fouled it away, stay alive. Well, I've not been able to round up a foul ball, so I just had someone go to the concession stand and grab me one of these cola pops I've been seeing everybody eating. Fastball got in for a strike previously, and now Opperman fouls into the parking lot. Kid's chasing down the ball. 2 strikes on the batter. Fastball hit to the shortstop. Max Hill fields it cleanly, fires to first to get Opperman for the first out.
Ett slag den här vägen som plockas ner av shortstop. Även med en på första bas.
Excuse me, that was the second out. We had a strikeout earlier. We have
Nästa slag man.
Sarita stands in. Catcher meets catcher.
3 outs.
Left-handed hitter. Plays for Sumbabati. Quite a size difference between the pitcher and the hitter. And the fastball misses high. Comes the pitch. Laced into right field, a base hit. Johnson heads over to field it, holding Sarita at first base, holding him to a single. Well hit by Sarita. Waited for his pitch. Took it nicely to right field. Next batter for the World Team is number 44 from New York, via Sundsvall, Ryan Arena. Stretch in the pitch, fastball. That Arena fouls off. Comes the pitch. Well hit into deep left field. Ball in the gap, fielded by the left fielder, Albin Serene. Sarita comes home. Here comes the throw to the plate. Cut by the first baseman, Serene. And Sarita scores from first base. Well hit by Ryan Arena. One of the sharpest hits of this game. Into the gap. Brings up Batati, his teammate from Sundsvall.
Come back, Brad.
Stretch the pitch. Hit foul down the third baseline. Budius fields it, but out of play. Catcher sets up outside. Nice pitch from Serene. Had a little break on it. Hit right on the spot. Set by catcher Yafston. Serene misses low in the dirt. Yafston quickly scoops it up to keep the runner at second base. This comes from Serene. Fastball. Fouled off by Batati. Serene ahead in the count. 2 strikes on Batati. Here comes the pitch. Looped into right field, a base hit. Ryan Arena rounds thirds, heads for home. Will come in standing up. Timely single for Batati. RBI single. Knocks in teammate Ryan Arena. Brings up our third baseman. Number 1, Castilla. So 8th run comes in for the world team. Stretch. Runner on first. The pitch. Fastball misses low. Swing and a miss by Castilla. 2 runs in the inning for the world team in the top of the 6th. It's taken us to 9-0. Ground ball to the shortstop Hill. Steps and throws Castilla out at first base to end the inning, but not before the world team could pick up 2 runs. Make the score 9-0. 4 runs in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 6th. Now we go to the bottom of the 6th with Team Sweden desperately needing to come alive with the bats.
Distributor. The word loaded. Byron Smith. Byron Smith have the pitcher.
We have a new pitcher for the world team, Tyler Smith. Tyler pitching for Skellefteå. Outfield as a college player, has played 2 years of college baseball. But has found the bump in Skellefteå. In baseball, if you're growing up and you're left-hander, you're going to get a chance to pitch. They're going to try to see if they can turn you into a pitcher. It's considered potentially more difficult to hit a left-handed pitcher.
Shaking like she got. Now with the finish, she was red hot. And she was steaming. This chick got up and she slapped down his face. Man, we just fell about the place. Chicks don't want to know.
It's been fun to see so many kids out. As I mentioned, we had the baseball clinic from 8 to 10 this morning, but after the home run derby and before this game, we offered an opportunity to go down in the right field corner, start a little fun game, and we were able to do that. We had a young man who won the contest and was able to throw out the first pitch. Victor from Rättvik. In fact, have a little man here. Have a few baseball cards in my pocket. Vill du ha? Du får den. Red Sox. Jajamän. First batter for Team Sweden is number 24, Oscar Järvsten. Facing Tyler Smith for the first time. They're playing in a different division. Rättvik in the Elitserien in Sweden. Skellefteå in the first division. I mentioned earlier that Skellefteå holds the record for most team goals in a row. 7 straight team goals, with the first one in 1989. 7 straight team goals. Oscar swinging and missing on a ball in the dirt for the strikeout. Ball gets away from the catcher, but he is able to throw Järvsten out at first base. And so after a long run of very successful baseball in Skellefteå, the northernmost baseball club in the world, a few of the former players decided it was time to clean up the field and introduce a new generation to baseball. And they've been very successful getting a lot of kids out. Ball misses low. And so part of that building program is to bring an import player in to work with the kids and develop baseball, play with the regional team, and that's Tyler Smith. I've had several friends who have played in Skellefteå all the way back to the mid-'80s with John Levitt, Bill Anderson, Chris Miller. Chris Miller being a part of recruiting in some key players. Johan Hasselström from Skarpnäck in Stockholm. Later Rickard Raymer from Sundbyberg. And they built a dynasty throughout the early 90s. Dominated Swedish baseball, played out in Europe, were very successful at European Cup tournaments. Perhaps there is a dream to do that again. I was a part of bringing quite a few Skellefteå players to the U.S., to high schools and colleges. Ball misses low for ball 4 to Estadi, so Team Sweden has a base runner. I'm up at the scoreboard now with our faithful scoreboard keeper, Paul Höglund. Paul, you haven't had a lot of numbers to put up for Team Sweden.
I tried, but they wouldn't let me do what I wanted.
Maybe we'll have to put you in as a pinch hitter. Team Sweden, on the other hand, does have a runner on first, a pinch runner for Estati.
It's Kalle.
Kalle Höglund comes in as a pinch runner. In this All-Star weekend, we have free substitution, so even though Kalle Höglund played earlier in the game, he is able to return, so he moves to second on a pass ball. So now Team Sweden has a runner at second with Sam Bodius up. Sam's had a successful day, both on the hill, at third base, and at the plate. He comes in on the left side, so it's a lefty facing a lefty. Ball misses low in the dirt. Sam ahead in the count. Call that a pitcher's count. So now he can select the pitch he wants. Sam Bodius drives a ball deep to the left center field. That ball is out of here. A home run to right center field for Sam Bodius with a runner on. Team Sweden finally on the board. And now our scorekeeper, Paul Höglund, can do just what he wants to do. Puts up 2 runs for Team Sweden in the slot of the bottom of the second. So Team Sweden has met Team World's 6th inning 2 runs with their own 2 runs to get back into the game. Bring it a little closer. Score is now 9-2. With a lot of baseball left, bottom of the 6th. Brings up our next batter. Albin Sheck steps in. Albin had a big home run against Leksand in a big game late in the game. Drove a ball deep over the center field fence. Leksand, he fouls this one off. Albin Sheck, a product of Ratvik. As I mentioned earlier when I interviewed him, he attended the baseball academy. Quite a few of these players have attended the baseball academy, led by Tony Clarbody. I know he's always thrilled to see his players, former players, performing well. Good fundamental skill. Albin Sheck takes a ball inside. The pitch from the left-handed pitcher, Tyler Smith, fastball in that gets Albin Sheck for a strikeout, a swinging strikeout. Brings up our next batter, former pitcher and now first baseman, Oscar Serene. Serene also a left-handed hitter. Looks at the first pitch, a ball low. Stretch, and the pitch from Tyler Smith is another ball low. 2 balls, no strikes on the batter. We have nobody on. Fastball is taken deep, high and deep to right field, but the center field seems to be coming under it and makes the catch to retire Serene and end the threat for Team Sweden. But not after Team Sweden picked up 2 runs to get on the board, close the gap. Score at the end of 6 is World Team 9 and Team Sweden 2. I've come into the dugout of the Team World that's leading 9-2. There's a good atmosphere, a lot of fellowship. A few players acting bad. Dylan O'Brien had an effective couple of innings on the mound. How did you feel about your pitching?
Felt pretty good on the mound. Just hitting the strike zone. Trying to get a hit of the batter.
You looked probably the most relaxed I've seen you on the mound. In command, you felt like you had control of your pitches. Did you feel a little different? Try to think back to the first time you pitched in Sweden to now. What's the difference?
Quite a bit different. Just relaxed. Just stay calm. Just find the strike zone. Yeah, and just have fun.
You enjoying the tournament?
Enjoying it, yeah. Been a pretty good day today.
Yeah, you played a mean second base. I noticed your pants got a little dirty. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
Means you might have gotten out on the bases or maybe dove and hauled one in. I think y'all turned a double play.
Yeah, we turned double play at the end to close the game out.
Yeah, that felt good.
We're all in the line out here. World. Shout out to Veronica Maggio, gang.
We're having a good time here. Everybody's doing well. You did a great job on the mound. How'd you feel about your pitching performance?
I just wanted to help the team out, throw strikes and get some work from my fielders back behind me. It was a great day today.
The whole time I was calling you Mueller.
Yeah.
That's all I had. Tell me your first name.
It's Michael. Michael.
I wish I'd have known that about an hour earlier. You've been Mueller all day.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm kind of used to it, whether that's school or the team, and it's everybody saying Mueller, so.
You had a ground ball to the second baseman Johnson, who hauls it in and takes down Johnny Flogel. Johnny's a college pitcher that has taken up hitting late in his career, man.
Yeah.
Hitting,
Giving it a shot.
Giving it a shot.
Now, Gary.
That's right. That's right. Johnny came to Sweden and got real excited, hadn't pitched in a while, and threw 139 pitches in an outing, to the dismay of many coaches around Sweden. 139 pitches is too many for a pitcher in one day. Quite often a max can be around 100. And he took it an extra 39 pitches and tore his rotator cuff. So Johnny Flogel's had to take up hitting. If he doesn't get a hit soon, I think he might be taking up fishing for a new hobby, or maybe golf. Serene settling in, throwing fastballs, has actually increased his velocity as the game goes on. Sometimes a pitcher needs an inning just to find himself and warm the body and get in the mode. There's a rhythm to pitching, and to find that rhythm, that relaxation, that explosion doesn't always happen when you come from the bullpen or from the dugout. It takes a little while to find it. And Serene looks like he's found it, settled in, looks very relaxed and in control on the mound. David LeBlanc up to hit. Pitch misses away. Well hit up the middle, snagged by Hill. He throws to first. The ball gets away from the first baseman, Oscar Serene, flips out of the glove. So he is called safe at first base. It'll be an error on the first baseman, Oscar Serene. Bullet across the mound. Serene steps in to face Michael Mueller, who I just interviewed. Now he's up at the plate from the left side, runner on first. Fastball in for a strike. Serene misses on the batter. Another player that I've only called by his last name, Batati. I'm finally going to learn his first name. There's a ball, ground ball up the middle. Second baseman Johnson comes in. There's no throw at first. An infield single for Michael Mueller. Mr. Batati, I'm ready to learn your first name. Tell me your name.
Jacopo is my first name.
Jacopo. Where are you from? Where were you born?
Italy, in
Where-
Parma.
In Parma.
Yeah.
I've actually been to Parma.
Yeah.
Did you play
You
baseball?
like it?
I loved it.
All right.
I went to the baseball club. I had a
Mhm.
friend coaching there, and the people in the club knew where to take me to eat. for
Okay.
The Parmesan ham. It
Right.
was not in the tourist section. It was way outside
Mhm.
of town. It was one of the best meals
That's
I've
good,
ever
right?
had. So you grew up in Parma.
Yeah.
And how on earth did you find your way to Sweden?
Oh, I just moved to Sweden last winter in October. For just change on just moving another country.
Is that
Just
right?
yeah, just trying for living in another country, and I'm on baseball job overseas, and Sundsvall Mosquitoes just send me an email if you want to play in Sundsvall, and I'm here.
And here, when did you arrive to Sundsvall?
The first week of March.
First week of March.
Yeah.
Oh, there
yeah.
was still snow on the ground.
Oh yeah, a
perhaps.
lot, a
A
lot.
lot
It
of
was
snow.
very cold and
Little
snowy.
different climate than
Oh,
Parma. Is
yeah,
that right?
not even close.
So your family is in Parma still. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely, yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
When do you think you'll return again?
Oh, honestly, I don't know. I want to try to play this winter in a winter league or some league, and I don't know, probably next season.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. There's
Yeah.
a lot of players who play in the northern hemisphere in the summer of the here, and then our winter in the
Yeah.
southern hemisphere. There's baseball in Australia, New Zealand,
Exactly.
South Africa.
Honestly, after like spend the winter in Stockholm last year, I need 2 summer in a row right now. Yeah, so
that's right.
yeah, winter here is very very hard.
So, do you have any leads or possibilities for playing maybe in the southern hemisphere? Do you?
I hope so. I hope so, man. I just keep in contact with the baseball job overseas,
Mhm.
and we'll see. We'll see if somebody call me. I just go.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
So, so your family is in Parma.
Yep.
You came here alone. Is that correct? To
Oh,
Sweden?
yeah.
Or you
No,
have family?
no, I come last October with my ex-girlfriend.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just try to move together, and that's it.
Mhm. And here you are.
Yeah.
Ground ball up the middle to Max Hill. He fields it on the short hop, throws to second, get out at first, safe at first, out at second, excuse me, safe at first. So that leaves us with runners at first and third. 2 down, 2 outs. The pitching coach Bjorn Johannesson calls timeout, comes out to speak to Serene. Our next batter for world team will be Levi Moon, who won the home run derby competition with an impressive explosion of home runs in the final. He'll step in to face Serene with runners at first and third. We have Hunter Reed at first base, David LeBlanc at third base. Moon steps in. The stretch, the pitch is a fastball hit to the second baseman. Johnson fields it cleanly and makes the throw to first base to end the inning. And that ends that threat. And so we finished the top half of the 7th inning. No runs. 1 hit. There was an error at first base. Score remains World Team 9, Team Sweden 2. We've come to the middle of the seventh. It's time for the seventh inning stretch. Which is common. Go up from the left side, face the right-handed pitcher. First pitch, in for a strike on Johnson. Stretch in the pitch. Fastball misses low. Evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball in for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the batter, John Michael Johnson. Pitcher steps off. Steps back on the rubber. From the windup. Fastball nips the outside corner to strike Johnson out. Goes down looking. Takes us to the top of the order. Max Hill comes in to hit. Max Hill has played a strong shortstop today. Hill in. Castillo misses low. Joel Johnson on deck. 1 out in the inning. Fastball misses low and away. 3 balls on the batter. Castillo throws fastball for a strike. Bring the count to 3 balls, 1 strike. And the ball 4 to Max Hill. Joel Johnson steps in. With Hill on first base. Sweden in big need for a rally. Foul ball off the foot of Joel Johnson. 1 strike on the batter. Hill at first. Joel Johnson hoping to advance the runner and even more. Come out on the base. Put some points on the board for Team Sweden. Curveball misses high. Castillo checks the runner at first. Hill, a teammate. Moon, the first baseman, also a teammate from Stockholm Monarchs. Castillo picks up the sign from the stretch. Pitch. Joel Johnson fouls it off.
Kom och lägg det här nu.
Checks the runner at first. Close play, but safe. Team World fairly dominant in this game so far, but Team Sweden hoping to shorten the lead. Joel Johnson fouls back, but the catcher caught the ball for a strikeout. 2 outs in the inning. Brings up the second baseman, Daniel Johnson, hoping to start a 2-out rally. Castillo in the stretch, the pitch, misses low with an off-speed pitch. Stretch in the pitch, misses in with the fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. Johnson hoped to get on base any way he can. Pickoff attempt. Hill in safe. Crowd's been here a long time today. There were some that were here for the clinic, stayed for the first game. There's a fastball fouled off by Johnson. 2 strikes on Johnson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Most have stayed for the doubleheader, the 11 o'clock game between the Eurostars and the Future Stars. And Castilla misses low with fastball to run the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Had the home run derby after the first game. Had a kids game down in the right field corner. Just before this game, we had one of the kids who won throw out the first pitch, and here we are in the final game. Johnson takes a ball low. At this stage of the game, a walk is helpful to get more runners on the base for Team Sweden, who haven't had enough runners on the base or enough timely hits. So our next batter for Team Sweden, Oscar Järvsten. Oscar played also in the first game for the Eurostars as a late minute pencil in after a couple of players had to call in sick. Bjorn Johannesson actually played his first game in 6 years for the Eurostars as the first baseman and ended the game as a catcher, throwing to also a Stockholmer, Max Hill, to end the game. Game ended on a double play with the Eurostars winning 13-4 over the Sweden Future Stars. Castilla stretches and pitches. Ball misses inside. Fastball. Runners at first and second. And out on the strikeout by John Michael Johnson. Here's the pitch. It is fouled off by Järvsten. Evan Opperman, the player coach for Team World, just comes out of the Team Sweden dugout. Maybe he was stealing signs or... And the ball hits sharply to third base. Hunter Reed fields it. And Guns Johnson out at second base on a bang bang play. Well hit by Oscar Yavston, but equally well played by Hunter Reed at third base to end that inning. Another inning without any runs. Score remains 9-2 as we head to the 8th.
All order producer. Det är Ludvig Lind, spelare för Stockholm. Som går in på pitchen till vänster till Sweden.
And we head to the top of the 8th inning. Joe Wittig will come into the game as a pinch hitter. Will go into the outfield. We have a new pitcher for Stockholm. Lucas Lind comes in to pitch for Team Sweden. Bit of a sidewinder.
What time to pick up Bailey's and Valhalla? You think we should take the liquor pot? Because I asked him like he said it would be fine for. Bailey, he's down that Valhalla. He's down in that room. Right? Don't pick him up? No, he is. All right. Yes. I don't know. What's the deal?
He called me because he's done and he needs to run.
Tell him to call Maya. Tell him to call Maya. Yes, go tell Linda. Go tell Linda.
Joe Wittig goes down on strikes. Brings up Ryan Arena.
Ryan Arena.
Lucas Lind effective on the first batter. Coming from down low. Medium velocity, but the angle can be difficult for a batter who hasn't seen him pitch before. It was a nice fastball for a strike. Lind also pitches from the stretch at all times. Misses with an off-speed pitch, high, still coming from the side. Stretch, the pitch. Call for a strike. Right on the edge of the knees. Rena sets with 2 strikes. Ball misses in the dirt. Defense pretty much intact. With one exception, Kylie Höglund has come in to first base. Ryan loops a ball into right field that John Michael makes a couple of steps in and hauls it in for the second out. Lucas Lynn effective on the mound with a strikeout and a soft liner to right field. Brings up our next batter, number 7, Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien played for the Eurostars, played second base, was able to hit, got a base hit in the first game. This is his first at bat in this game. Well hit to center field, a line drive. Joel Johnson had taken a couple of steps in, was forced to take a couple of steps back and hauls in the sharply hit line drive to center field. Well hit by O'Brien. That will end the top of the 8th. So no runs in the inning, no hits, no Team Sweden errors. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th with 2 chances left for Team Sweden to tighten this game up as we head to the bottom of the 8th. World Team 9, Team Sweden 2.
Didn't have vitamin D. Much needed this week. You have fun?
Okay, we're going to head to the bottom of the 8th inning. We have a new pitcher for the Team World. When you make the lineups and you're the team captain, you can put yourself in as a pitcher. And Evan Opperman has decided to take the hill. And Opperman throws a fastball for a strike, trying to prove that the power of the pen is not all that's at play here. Misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sarita remains at catcher. Ryan Arena at shortstop. Michael Mueller at second base. Hunter Reed at third. Levi Moon at first base. Have Dylan O'Brien in right field. Jacopi Battati in center field, who we interviewed just a second ago. Brian fouls off the curveball into the dirt. And Tyler Smith is in left field, our lone Skellefteå representative. Hope in the future we'll have quite a few new bright young stars from Skellefteå, club that I'm pulling for to grow and get back in the Elite Series. And a lot of old friends in Skellefteå. Opperman comes with the fastball that's hit sharply and high. Hunter Reed hauls it in, makes a throw across the diamond, And Levi Moon makes the scoop to throw out Brian Estati. First time Brian Estati has been thrown out today. He's got on base every time until then. It took a great play by Hunter Reed to hit the sharply hit ground ball and a great scoop. So up comes the young left-hander, Sam Bodius, to face his teammate, Evan Opperman. And he hits a chopper that Levi takes. Evan moves over, covers first, and makes the play at first base. 2 outs, which brings up the left-handed hitter Albin Sheck. Albin's had a good day. He's pitched, played the outfield, hit the ball hard. As we mentioned at the start, this is a rare occasion that we have 3 umpires. In Sweden, you're used to 2 umpires at most in regular games, but preparing for the playoffs, we were able to receive 3 because it's a different angle, different placement when you have 3 umpires. Currently, with no one on base, you have your first base umpire in his regular place. The second umpire goes down the left field line in the grass to check for balls down the line. Albin Sheck fouls off the next pitch. We did have one situation earlier in the game where the umpires needed to confer on a play at first, and together they overruled their original call from safe to out after checking the various angles. The third base umpire saw the play and said from his angle the player was out, that the foot did not come off the base, and he was called out. The umpires have the right to confer and overrule a call. Fastball in for a strike, and strikes out Albin Sheck. To end that inning, Team Sweden left with one more opportunity to try to stage an enormous comeback. So we have played 8 innings of baseball. No runs, no hits, no errors in the top of the 8th. Good defense by World Team. So we head to the 9th with the score remaining, World Team 9, Team Sweden 2. As we enter the top of the 9th, we'll have a pinch hitter for Team Europe from Tallahassee, Florida. First time in Sweden since Thursday. Will Landsberg, left-handed pitcher, outfielder, will step into the box. Only his second at bat in the weekend. Drew a walk his first time up. Lucas Lind is still on the mound. And Will swings and misses for strike 1. From the stretch, the pitch. Another fastball from the side wind. In for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Lind ahead in the count. Ball is laced to left field, slapped in, goes all the way to the corner. The left fielder comes up, and Will Lensberg will come in standing with a double. His first hit in Europe, first hit in Sweden, with an opposite field hit down the line. Nice piece of hitting, waiting after adjusting to the sidewind pitching style of Lucas Lynn, slaps it into left field for a double. Next batter is left fielder Tyler Smith, also a left-handed batter facing a righty, Lind. Ball's hit into the gap, fielded cleanly by the shortstop who makes a throw just off the mark. That'll go down as an infield hit for Tyler Smith. So Team World has runners at first and third. Jacopi Batati up to hit. As we interviewed earlier, a native of Parma, Italy. He spent the winter in Stockholm and joined Sundsvall Mosquitoes this year. Enjoy in Sweden. Hoping to play in the Southern Hemisphere this winter. New Zealand, Australia, off the pitcher's glove, ground ball. It looks like it's going to fall in for an infield hit for Batati, which brings home Landsberg from third base. So Landsberg, who started the rally with a double down the left field line, comes in to score to put us in double digits for a world team. 10 runs for them. So now we have runners at first and second with Michael Mueller, second baseman, coming to bat. Also a left-handed hitter facing the right-handed Lind. Ball misses low and in. Mueller ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Low and in again. 2 balls, no strikes on the batter. Mueller. Batati at first. Tyler Smith at second base. Sun peeks out, making it a little difficult for the center fielder, Joel Johnson. Lind in with a fastball strike at the knees. Bring us to 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners first and second. Ball gets up and Mueller fouls it out of play. Lands onto the hitting tunnel down the left field line. Butchers have done a lot of work on the field down around the tunnel to tighten the net, patch the holes. Worked very hard to get the field in shape for this weekend and for the rest of the season. Their hope is they'll be in the playoffs. It looks likely as they're leading the Elitserien. And hopefully they'll play a semifinal and hopefully a final here. Momentum in Rättvik and Dalarna, with Leksand winning the SM in a 1-game playoff in a shortened season due to Corona. A 1-game semifinal where Rättvik defeated Sundsvall, a strong Sundsvall team, and Leksand upset a strong Sundbyberg team to make the final, and it was Leksand's weekend. Probably a career pitching performance by Per Kroos. And Leksand caught fire and did everything right and played with spirit and won the SM Gold. Their last SM Gold, I believe, was 2018, and they won again in 2021. A ground ball to the third baseman. Buddius picks up, fires to second. Ball's flipped to first. Got the runner at second, safe at first. Batati advances to third base. Nice play by Budius. Budius, an unorthodox infielder in the way he quickly releases the ball, usually off balance, but he's accurate with his throws and soft with his glove, and most often than not makes the play. And there was another good play. Fired it to second. Accurate throw to Daniel Johnson, who tried to throw out Hunter Reed at first. So now we have Levi Moon, the home run derby champion, up at the plate, trying to add one more home run to his total today. Lucas Lynn in with fastball strike. Tati at third base. Hunter Reed at first. Lynn with the stretch and the pitch. Misses high with fastball. On deck we have Joe Wittig, Italian-American, playing this season for the Rättvik Butchers. He was part of the 2020 Swedish Championship team in Sölvesborg as a pitcher. First baseman, third baseman, and in the stretch, checking the runners, the stretch, the pitch, ripped into center field. Joel Johnson comes in, hauls it in. Ollie Höglund injured on the play. As Joel Johnson fielded the ball, Hunter Reed had gotten off a little too much. And so Johnson hurled it to first base. And with a little collision, we've got Kalle Höglund down. Coach Bjorn Johannesson comes out to check on Höglund. Lena Schwerlin comes out to play first base to replace Höglund, who's going to come out of the game. 2 outs on the line drive by Levi Moon, snagged by Joel Johnson. We had a runner on third tagging. Johnson didn't have a chance on the play at home. Tried to catch the runner off guard. And Höglund comes up. He's on his feet now, moving gingerly. Could be a knee or an ankle. Appears to be an ankle, left ankle. He's trying to come off the field. Walked off by Coach Bjorn Johannesson. Höglund with a smile, hopefully not in too much pain. Coach Bjorn encouraged him to walk off on his own power, walk it off. Moving gingerly toward the dugout. Our new first baseman is Lena Schwerlund. Crowd gives an applause to Kalle Höglund. 2 outs. Our next batter is Joe Wittig with Ryan Arena on deck. 2 outs. Joe Wittig, a left-handed hitter. Pitcher Lynn throws over to third to see if the runner at third base left too soon. The runner is called safe. So we have 2 outs, runner at first. Hunter Reed remains at first. Linus Frölund replaces Kali Höglund at first on defense. Lynn with the stretch, and the pitch is a fastball inside and low for ball one. Joe Wittig at the plate. Lynn misses high. 2 balls, no strikes on Wittig. Hitters count. Wittig looks for something to hit here. This ball misses out. 3 balls, no strikes. Wittig always with a high walk percentage, often hit by pitches. And he hits a 3-0 pitch, chopper to shortstop Hill, who fires to second Johnson to get Hunter Reed at second base to end that threat. But the World team does pick up a run to run the score to 12-2. We've come to the 2 runs, to bring the score to 12-2. So we're going to head to the bottom of the 9th, the last inning, last chance for Team Sweden. See what they can do. For those who have tuned in and watched online, hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Good camera work, several angles. Great weather now in Rättvik. Last chance for Team Sweden. Ole from Sundsvall comes to bat. John Michael will follow him in the 9 slot, and then we'll be back to the top of the order with Max Hill. These 3 will try to get Team Sweden on the scoreboard. Yeah. Evan Opperman on the mound fires a fastball that is fouled off by Ole Mortensen. Very grateful for the good weather today that gave us a chance to carry off every event on time, according to plan. Evan Opperman, who's on the mound, has planned out the day. It's been a successful day, lots of people, lots of fun for the kids, for the players, lots of team photos for memory. I personally was involved in the Stockholm International Tournament, 1984, 1985, 1986, and 1987, and 1988 was always a highlight of the summer to play for the World team. Players that were spread out in the various clubs and visitors who came in for the tournament. It was a great time of touring Sweden, getting to know people that I'm still talking to today. Martinson drives a ball into left field off the wall. He'll stretch it to 2. There is a play at second base, and he's in safe at second. A double by Ole Martinson for Team Sweden. Well hit by Martinson. Boost for Team Sweden brings John Michael Johnson to the plate. As we mentioned earlier, he is a switch hitter. He will try to go from the left side facing the right-handed pitcher Evan Opperman. Sarita from Japan is his catcher. Still have Levi Moon at first base. Michael Mueller at second base. Fastball. In for a strike. Ryan Arena at shortstop. Hunter Reed at third. Here comes the next pitch. Also, a strike on the outside corner. Johnson behind 0-2. Here comes pitch that hits the batter. Johnson hit by the pitch. Ball, 2 balls on Johnson. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Eephus pitch. Then comes a fastball, and John Michael Johnson takes a weak swing to strike out. Brings up the top of the order, Max Hill, with Uli Martinsson at second base. Misses high the pitch. Having misses again high with a fastball, 2 balls, no strikes. Max Hill drives a ball into left field for a base hit. Advances Uli Martinsson to third base. Another base hit for Max Hill today. Keeps the dream alive for Team Sweden as Joel Johnson comes up to hit. Johnson in the 2 slot. Max Hill at first base. Uli Martinsson from Sundsvall at third base, first and third. Opperman misses high again. 1 ball, no strikes. Well hit to left field, a drive deep, and that ball is gone. A 3-run home run for Joel Johnson off Evan Opperman. Martinsson comes in to score. Max Hill comes in to score after his base hit. So a series, a double by Uli Martinsson, a single by Max Hill, and then a home run by Joel Johnson. Gives Team Sweden 3 runs and closes the gap to 12-5. 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. It's not over till it's over. There's no clock in this game. Team Europe will have to get 3 outs. 1 out in the inning. Up steps teammate and brother, Daniel Johnson. Try to get some more runners on base. At this point in the game, when you're still down by a few runs, base runner's very valuable. Daniel Johnson fouls it down the right field line. Johnson up at the plate. 1 strike. Takes a ball. Johnson with a pocket hanging out. It's got the rabbit ears going. Takes the fastball for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The shadows wreaking havoc for the hitters this time of day. A bright sun in the outfield and shadows between the pitcher and the catcher make it difficult to see the ball. Ball outside. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Johnson. Well hit shortstop. Ryan Arena goes into short. Not able to haul it in. A base hit for Johnson to keep the rally alive. Base hit for Johnson. Last chance for Team Sweden. 3 runs already in the bottom of the ninth. Brings up the next batter. Catcher, number 24, Oscar Järvsten. Has a heritage in Ustal, where I was a player coach, late 1984, 85, and 86. Well hit. Out in, the ball gets down into right field. Daniel Johnson advances to third base. There's no throw. He'll come in standing up. A base hit for Oscar Järvsten. Puts runners at first and third on the corners. Brings up our next batter from Sundsvall via Cuba, Brian Estati. He's played several seasons for Sundsvall Mosquitoes. Has been on base every time but one in this game. He steps in to face Opperman. Fastball misses away. So we have runners at the corners, 1 out. Team Sweden needing quite a few base runners, quite a few runs. Off-speed pitch. Estati swings through for a strike. Runners first and third. Opperman in the stretch. And the pitch. Opperman comes off speed for a strike in the lower part of the strike zone. Opperman stretches, pitches, ball in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, but not far enough for Johnson to score. Järvsten stays at first base, not wanting to take a chance of getting thrown out, because at this point, Team World would gladly exchange an out for a run, leading 12-5. All-speed pitch is up, playable. First baseman Levi Moons under it and makes the catch for the second out. So the runners remain at first and third. The last chance for Sweden is the young gun, Sam Buddius, number 33. After him on deck is Albin Sheck. Opperman in with the fastball to get ahead in the count. 1 strike on the batter. Another fastball low and away, but called strike. But it's behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. This could be the last pitch of the game. But it is ripped into right field, a base hit. Another run scores. Järvsten advances to third. Sam Buddius holds at second base, not wanting to take any chances because we need a lot more base runners. Another run scores, well hit by Sam Buddius. This is the nature of baseball. We were 1 pitch away, and instead, Buddius slaps it into left field to score a run. So we still have runners at the corners, but another run in. 4 runs in the bottom of the ninth for Team Sweden. 12-6 is our score. Albin Sheck comes in to hit. He takes a ball high. Takes a ball low. The ball gets away from the catcher. Järvsten decides to stay at third, not wanting to risk an out at home plate, down by 6. The need of the hour for Team Sweden is base runners, a few more timely hits. Try to make a difference in the outcome of this game. Albin swings and misses at the fastball. Opperman stretches, pitches, fastball, call for a strike to get ahead in the count. Strikes on the batter. Again, could be the last pitch of the game, and it appears to be. And that should do it. Albin Sheck strikes out. leaving 2 runners on the base, an exciting 9th inning where Team World put up 2 runs on the board and Team Sweden scored 4 runs, left 2 batters on the base, and that will be your ball game. Fans applaud. Still quite a few people here. This beautiful Saturday evening weather. Sun's still shining in Rättvik. We're going to go out and interview a few players. This game is ending. Coach Bjorn Johannesson. Great job. Teams congratulating each other. We'll take some pictures. Now the players applaud the fans who have stayed all day here at the field. The concession stand's been open, so people have been able to eat. Players gather. Hugs from players who haven't seen each other for a while. Team Sweden gathering, getting ready for some pictures. Always fun to win. Even better to compete together with people you don't see as often. Guys are giving one another hugs. Finally, they can relax and talk to each other. The game's over. They don't have to focus on the game. Here we're lining up for pictures. The teams line up together. Time for photographs. Here are the 2 teams, Team Sweden and Team World. Great group of guys that have traveled here just to play baseball at their own expense. Rättvik Butchers have done all they can to find housing for all the guys who came in, were able successfully. And so that'll do it here from Butcher Field for All-Star Weekend. There are a few players we might want to interview. You always want to interview a catcher because he gets to see things better than anybody else. Oskar Jefsten har vi här. Hur känns det efter en lång dag av baseball?
Man är lite trött, men det var en väldigt rolig dag med baseball. Mycket spelare från alla lag, så det är alltid kul att träffa allt baseballfolk.
Jag ser att du har lite hejaklack upp. Familjen var här.
Familjen kom hit och kollade, vilket alltid är roligt. Så det var kul.
Ja, de åkte ner från Sundsvall.
Yes, precis. De kom hit från Sundsvall över dagen för att se de här matcherna och Home Run Derbyt och sådär.
Ja, det var inte bara det de kom att se, för brorsan Olle fick spela i första matchen.
Yes, brorsan spelar för Future Stars, så det var kul. Fick jag möta honom också med Eurostars. Det var roligt.
Har du spelat för Björn Johannesson någon gång i ditt liv?
Yes, jag spelar för Björn i juniorlandslaget när jag växte upp. Så han har hjälpt mig mycket, coachat mig mycket och hjälpt mig mycket med basebollen.
Så det kändes bra att ha honom?
Absolut,
med.
det är alltid kul att ha honom.
Spelade första matchen och sen var coach för Team Sweden.
Exakt.
Och du var med i båda matcher.
Exakt, det är kul att det är lite old boys som kommer tillbaka och ger tillbaka till sporten liksom.
Ja, Björn Johannesson sa att utan tvekan kommer han att samla en gammal gubblag inför nästa turnering. Jag tror han klarar det.
Det blir kul. Då ser jag fram emot att möta lite old boys nästa år.
Ja. Congrats on the day.
Tack så mycket.
Good job. Bra jobbat. Ja, ska vi ta oss till buren här? Vinnande laget, de verkar glad och pigg och se om det är någon. Ja, vi har inte Katrin Sorita har vi inte intervjuat från Japan. Jag skulle vilja samtala med honom. Hey guys, you're on film. How does it feel to win, man? You feel good. You revenged the loss from last year. Want to meet your catcher here.
Hi.
Gary. My name's Gary.
My name is T. Takeru.
T.
Yes.
Takeru.
Take a few steps back so we're out of the sun.
Okay, we'll take a few steps back.
Yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, tell me how you found Swedish baseball.
Oh, I like it so much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you find out about Swedish baseball?
Oh, our manager Peter Kronel sent me a message, and I decided to come to Sweden to play baseball. And this is actually my 11th country to play baseball.
Okay.
This is awesome. Yeah.
Can you name all 11 countries
Oh,
for
yes.
us that you've played baseball in?
Yes. Japan, and U.S., Mexico, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Argentina, Australia, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, and Sweden.
Wow.
Yes.
That is great.
Yeah.
You're a baseball traveler.
Yes.
I think there are many people in Sweden that don't realize baseball is played all over the world, but you're
Yeah, I
witnessing
know that.
that.
Yeah.
You know that.
I represent it.
So baseball brought you here. Are you doing anything else in Sweden while you're here?
No, I'm just playing baseball and like representing baseball, representing Japan, and enjoying Swedish beautiful nature, people, and weather. Maybe.
How long will you be in Sweden, do you think?
Oh, I'm just maybe like 3 months or something, and playing here, and yeah, if I got.
And then your next, where's your next destination?
Next destination is I'm trying to go to South Africa, and yeah, one guy from my team is from South Africa, and I need to talk to him, and hopefully I wanna come back here and play another season because Swedish baseball is good. I like it so much.
As we said before, it's quite common for players who are traveling to play in Europe in the summer months, but then Southern Hemisphere, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, or some of the
So
countries.
it happens sometimes. These guys I play against each other, and possibly in South Africa, Australia, we can be a teammate in another team. So it's awesome. Like baseball friends is all over the world.
So are you glad you made the effort to come to Ratvik today to play? Are you glad you came?
Yeah, so much. Yeah,
fun.
That was not like close. I'm from Sundbyberg. To come here was like not easy, but that was good choice to come here today.
Yeah, we're glad you came.
Thank
And
you
thanks
so
for letting
much.
me
Thank
talk
you so
to
much.
you.
Yes.
All the best to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome. Well,
Great.
team is happy. I think we've done our job. I thank our cameraman and technical coordinator who we interviewed earlier. Well, that's it for today. We thank y'all for being with us, and we welcome you back next year. We'll be at it this time next year. And until next sending, take care and God bless.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks, Gary. Killed it today, man. That was bull. Line was long, yeah. Do you remember? Gary, you managed. Yeah, we're right.